by taking a win here as well, as we're going into heavy impact at lab. Oh no.
Yeah, heavy impact at lab could spell out some destruction here, as we do have a couple of players taking the stacks on stacks, one siphoning one on each team. We have Snake, Juliet taking the vicious Van Brace to just try to survive as long as they possibly can, kind of like a war of attrition at some situations, with siphoning one kind of being like that kind of slow burn there, though. Although, I mean, the Demons RAAAAHH team has got Vice, they got Luna. I mean, that is sort of an overwhelming amount of damage. Juno, pretty solid at dealing damage, and Zentaro is just simply good at it. So we'll see if this Dubu actually can control this core at least enough. I mean, going for a huge dribble there and actually gets the ball down to Liari with that sequence. Lilybun feeling good right now, getting some of those stacks on stacks going, and first point on over to Bunn.
Yeah, they need to be playing for that kind of control aspect of it, because if it comes down to pure damage, Demons RAAAAHH just do have a way better comp, I feel like, to be executing. But Bunn Bunn does have that Juno, does have Liari on it, and that's going to be very suffocating on the defensive end. And the damage was shown there as well, as Scyther 12 was taken out just flat out. So we'll see if that KO is going to continue to snowball. No, Scyther is back, and we're back to a 3v3.
Yep, 3v3 up. Still 2 barriers here for Bunn. Lilybun's going to move up here. It gets kind of hit by the power cord, keeps control of that ball. Can't catch it with the Oni Blade there. Scyther going to remain on the front lines here, doing a little bit of damage to Snake. No one gets the ball. The barrier is holding for just a moment here. The Supernova also fails, and they still keep this one up. Continues to hold that barrier, which does end up wasting a lot of time for Demons RAAAAHH. The kill finally goes out, but it's actually in the favor of Bunn Bunn Bonanza. And we'll see if this power play can actually result in the final kill here, though. Frightfully Fresh trying to hold the line here. Scyther goes for the flick, has the flip, spends the IRS instead, but it's going to result in a barrier here for Bunn Bunn, and Fudgy gets in there, boosts right into Lilybun's face, stun and strike it in. All right, 1-1 here. It's already kind of intense right now. It almost feels like we're in set 2.
Yeah, very much so. And I also want to mention, because we have like such a polarizing start, you have stacks on stacks and heavy impact, which means stacks on stacks, you just want to stay alive as much as possible. Meanwhile, with heavy impact, you're looking for all these KOs. So a combination of both of those, finding these KOs, just even so much more impactful, because you're resetting stacks. You can see that on Snake already, who was back down to 12 because he was taken out last point. So each KO you find is not only a power play, but it's also a complete reset in that movement speed.
Yeah, honestly, with current patch and the way the siphoning one is, I thought we would see less stacks on stacks in this game total, but we do see 4. A kill being exchanged here. Bunn Bunn Bonanza gonna lose Scyther, as Demons RAAAAHH is gonna try to keep this barrier alive, push that one through, up on over to Snake. The dash punch dealing a little damage to Liari, but does not find the mark on the ball. A interesting strike. Like, they kind of stacked strikes there, but it ended up working out. Maybe caused a little bit of a mix-up there for Lilybun, and they get that point there on that power play. Fudgy Waffles, full stacks, the only one in the game right now, so they are fast.
They are very fast, and they don't want to be playing off of that as well. But Liari and Lilybun on the other side, they do have their stacks almost full as well. So if they can keep those alive, they can just be overwhelming with the pressure that they can create off of a Juno and a Dubu as well, as Lilybun's playing incredibly aggressive here as well. But it works out. You get a barrier for it, right? That's exactly the value you want, as a black hole respawns at the worst time possible.
Yeah, that did a lot of damage to Demons RAAAAHH. Fudgy, who is full stacked here, is completely staggered. Very at risk of dying here, though. Scyther and Lilybun trying to keep the ball on the front side here, though. Gonna lose the somersault in that situation. Frightfully Fresh also looking a little bit weak, but going to regenerate just a little bit here. Has this flip, gonna spend it on out of there, clears the ball on over to the Lilybun, who's gonna try to push onto the bottom side. Liari goes in with the jump. Scyther keeps it in as well, and they do end up finding a kill onto Fudgy Waffles, man. Those stacks are gone. Power play here for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. If they can finish it off, it would obviously be pretty great, but even if they can't, they do reset those stacks. They get another power play here, man. Bunn Bunn, they might actually have more damage than it seems.
I do feel like they have a lot of like surprising base damage, because the thing is as well, Liari with the Blubbles is just continuously going to harass the defense with Frightfully Fresh and Fudgy Waffles, but just having the Blobs be there. Neither Luna or Vice do really well at defending against Juno, so you need to step on those Blubbles, and that's just damage that continuously comes out. And again, I mean, if we're talking about damage on the side of Bunn Bunn, you have Cypher 12 with Siphoning Wand, Heavy Impact Centauro. So that's definitely going to help quite a bit as well if you do want to take out the side of Demons RAAAAHH.
Yeah, it is definitely true. We do have double stacks here for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. They're going to be quite a bit faster. You can see Liari going to run circles around Fudgy Waffles right now. Snake moving in here with this flip. There goes the Fortress to hold the line on the top side. Liari can't seem to get their hand on the ball, though, so the Fortress only stalls a little bit here. Flips. Fudgy Waffles does get the strike on in. It's going to drop the final barrier here. This is big for the last point of the set. First Awakening could be pretty impactful, a heavy impact, some might say. Snake blasts that one. I'm not entirely sure how that ended up being read here, but the Bunn Bunn Bonanza do end up finding the kill. Frightfully Fresh kind of whiffs on the Supernova, and now the power play might result in the end of the set. A back pass over to Lily Bunn. Liari trying to get it in there, so their flips. They do end up defending it, though. Now the power play is over. Oh my god, Lily Bunn grabs the ball out of the hands of the air, out of the goal, basically, and it's going to keep this point going once again.
I don't know how this point is still alive. It felt like it was over like 4 different times already, but in the end, the side of Bunn Bunn do find it. Liari with these blubbles being just so efficient with it as well, as they do get the first draft priority here, and that's where it gets a bit, it's important, right? If you have such a like heavy snowball-y type of game with a heavy impact start and a stacks and stack start as well, you do want to have first choice. Looking at these Awakenings here, you have Extra Special, you have Deadeye, you have Stinger, which all enable a lot of like damage gameplay as well, and you have Fight or Flight, which gets picked up by Liari here, which obviously on Juno, a great pickup as well. She interacts with Core quite often, so these speed boosts are going to be happening so often as well. Deadeye falling down to Fudgy Waffles. He's obviously very happy about that, as the rest pick up... Oh, Stinger on Vice. Ooh, bit scary.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage here picked up by Demons RAAAAHHH here. Deadeye and Stinger is kind of big. Scyther does get extra special. A little bit more movement, a little bit more damage, a little bit more everything, right? Honestly, yo, Lily Bunn, the reason they got that somersault there was probably Pauldron's, but I'm chatting away as Scyther is going to be taken out just so quickly here, though. Possibly the reason behind some of these Awakenings that were picked. Luna is now, I mean, that is the Luna Awakening here, though. She is extremely powerful. Now we're going to have to try to do some core control here. We got our 3v3 back up. We can see all the members of Bunn Bunn Bonanza are kind of weak right now. Liari being the kill target here for Snake. Just going to forego that situation, go for a little bit of ball gameplay. Liari might be in position to get this one, but still going to play safe here. You can see that just being staggered sometimes really just takes you out of the play, and sometimes it's just enough to get that player moving around the board and not interacting with the ball, and it's kind of like that pseudo power play you usually talk about.
Yeah, most definitely, but the side of Demons RAAAAHH are looking for an actual power play here, as Scyther is being put down into stagger. Does have 3 evades, doesn't want to use them though, because he's also very close to flip, so he's going to be able to recover some of that HP again using the orbs and going back into non-stagger now as the attack is again mounting. It's a lot of like midfield control going back and forth, both teams trying to set themselves up to take a barrier, and Scyther 12 will find it, needs to flip to evade the whammy as well. Doesn't get a core into any dangerous position though. A Snake in front of the net now with the flip, gets handled by Scyther's ultimate though, and the core is still in play for both sides.
Yeah, tough, intense situation here though, into overtime. Liari playing Juno has a little bit of an advantage on the overtime. Luna also hits the ball pretty hard, lots of core knockback. Fudgy, couple strikes away from getting a flip. Scyther realizes that, tries to go for maybe a kill here, get them to spend an evade. Now they finally do have that flip, trying to get them to use it a little bit early, though. They do spend it in a situation where they can't really get much out of it there, though. So I'm going to go ahead and say Scyther does get what they want out of that aggressive situation here. Ball rolling on up to Lily Bunn. Gets it out through Snake, although once again Fudgy Waffles blasted here with the boost. Flip over to Lily Bunn, and they get it through. Scyther wins that situation. Actually, if they were strike warring, it wouldn't have been red, so it looks like Fudgy probably just didn't get their hands on the ball there, though. Either way, a Bunn Bunn takes the next point in the next set.
Yeah, really good eye from Lily Bunn there to find Scyther, and Scyther did a nice redirect to actually put it in the net as a lot of damage come out. Snake almost dead, and Scyther taken out completely as one barrier drops, second barrier drops. Fudgy now in front of the net, cannot get the goal. Liari with a beautiful defense, but surely Snake can put it in. No, Lily Bunn is still there. That Pauldron's helping so much for survivability right now for her as well, as the ball is still in play and not in the goal. What a defense.
Wow, Lily Bunn fighting for their life, bro. Scyther helping as much as he can, but finally the pressure is just mounting too heavily. Fudgy gets it on in there with that boost. Being able to reposition that quickly here with Luna is certainly one of the advantages of having boost saved off cooldown there. And we're going to start this next point on the bottom side. Liari goes in kind of hard there, gets the Make It Rain going. A power chord from Frightfully Fresh. Going to take that first barrier here down to Fudgy Waffles, who might have a boost. Yeah, there it goes, but, you know, gets countered by the somersault, but a lot of pressure once again is going to mount that barrier on out of here, though. Snake maybe be able to play something with this. Maybe has dash cooldown, or dash strike on cooldown. Going to dribble a little bit here to grab some of those cooldowns back. Scyther 12 looking a little bit weak here, though. They might end up going for a kill. They can't seem to find it before. You know, just passing the ball between two players really just gets that experience, gets that extra energy going, and honestly, it's really just not that bad to keep possession of the ball here.
Yeah, most definitely. The possession of the ball, you're controlling the play, right? You're setting yourselves up. You do drop a barrier now on the side of Demons RAAAAHH, but the attack is still very much alive. Fudgy Waffles here uses the flip as well. Wanted to get core on it, but didn't quite find it. Scyther 12, though, getting a bit low again, and Snake is just looking for this KO. Potentially has a Julie ultimate soon as well to try to secure it. As no, the black hole will actually be the one to secure this, and a beautiful dash strike from Snake will get it past Lilybun. Nothing she can do there.
Funny situation where we do have some deaths, some power plays here, but all players right now who have stacks are stacked up right here. Only Scyther finding themselves on out of here, though. Everyone quite fast, fully stacked up. They're going for a ton of damage here, though. Snake really got their eye on Scyther. Mistimes the flip on the evade, although they are still stacking up a whole lot of damage. A dash punch gets whiffed. Liari moves out of the way nicely there. Frightfully Fresh going to hold on to the ball, send the Thunder Strike over there. Not going to find its mark either. Down to hands of Lilybun, trying to get it over to Liari, who actually gets it pretty far through there. But once again, to no avail. The barrier is going to hold for now. Liari having a tough time getting it through Fudgy Waffles right now, though. Scyther can't maintain possession of the ball either, though. Frightfully Fresh gets on in there with a lot of cooldowns, and the Crater Maker is going to make that barrier go down. More pressure once again from the backside. I mean, this team is a lot of projectiles, so much damage, and when Snake gets in there, it's just a whole lot of misdirection to get these barriers.
Yeah, most definitely, and Fudgy will dash in there as well, almost gets the goal in, but does not find it as the flip is forced out by Frightfully Fresh there to hold on to the barrier. The pressure hasn't subsided yet, though. Scyther will get it and get a KO, and yeah, that's... look at those HP bars, man. They're just struggling.
Yeah, that was a lot of pressure there applied from Bunn Bunn Bonanza. I think Fudgy Waffles was possibly backing up a little too much when they really needed to get strike advantage from Frightfully Fresh in that play, but no problem here. Moving on to the next one here. Once again, last point of this set will result in another Grand Awakening chosen out of the 8. So we want to see if Demons RAAAAHH can keep themselves together and get something a little bit more powerful. I mean, damn, did they get a lot of power before? But Lilybun, Bunn Bunn Bonanza, Scyther, Liari, they are taking it right now. Next set over to Bunn Bunn Bonanza, bro. I mean, Bun's looking good, dude. It could be a bonanza.
It could very much, and they're gonna be rewarded with a potentially a super surge on Scyther. I'm curious to see if there's maybe another priority here as well, because we have a hot shot in here. Oh yeah, well, Adrenaline Rush makes sense. I didn't see that one. Zentaro gets his mask and is gonna be running away with it, getting all those power resets and just that damage threat that Adrenaline Rush comes with it. Prizefighter actually a pretty strong pickup as well for Liari. Not only does it deny it off of Frightfully Fresh and Snake, it also just, again, it adds up, right? You find KOs, Scyther 12 is going to find KOs on his own, Liari's going to get involved in it and going to get stacks, which means these blobs are going to hurt even more down the line.
That is absolutely true here. Like, we see a deny of Hot Shot from Fudgy Waffles, but honestly, that Guide Awakening is just good on Luna, in my opinion. I mean, all of the base core knockback makes all of her moves, I think, pre-overtime, make the ball red. I mean, you can see it right there. Boom, gone. Ball is completely gone, and so is that barrier. Things like Hot Shot, like all this core speed, just result in a whole bunch of extra barriers going down for no reason. And I mean, Snake kind of just solo-doloed right there with a little bit of reinforcement from the backside. Gets that point nicely here for Demons RAAAAHH. I mean, Snake also took team players, so we are doing some back pass gaming here. I'm interested to see how they make this one work.
Yeah, most definitely. And you mentioned the core speed, and that is so important as well, because defensive goalies tend to not do insanely well around core speed if they're being thrown at angles that they cannot reach. Dubu doesn't really have a lot of range to be working with, so if you just send the core at red speeds all the time, it just needs to come at a little bit of an awkward angle, and you can't really do much in that goalie position there. So we'll see if that's going to come into play as well as we're going back into the third point of this third set here.
Yep, Fortress is out on the top side here, though. Scyther going to use that advantage to grab that barrier nicely. Liari blocking that out pass. Lilybun going to reinforce Scyther from the top side here, though. The Black Hole is also going to cover Bunn Bunn Bonanza as they have so much pressure. You can see it. Fudgy Waffles in Africa now, completely gone for a while. Grabs the orb. They're going to try to hold as much pressure as they can in this 2v3. Fudgy Waffles finally gets it back here, though. One barrier down for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. Lilybun, no problem. Grabbing it, not the angle they were looking for. Frightfully Fresh, wiping that sweat off the brow there. Few keeps the point alive. Fudgy Waffles once again smashing it as hard as physically possible here. Hot Shot looking really good and actually cleans up the kill onto Liari. So now we have a power play here for Bunn Bunn. Gonna self-dribble there a little bit to get some more angles, and they do it well nicely. Fudgy Waffles gets it on through, and they get that ult out from Dubu. So Demons are all looking good this set.
Not only do they get the ult out from Dubu, Liari is now down to 0 prize fighter stacks and 0 stacks on stacks, which means both of these awakenings, they don't really bring a lot of value, as the last evade from Liari has to go out as well. Both barriers are already down on the side of Bunn Bunn, as Demons are trying to get this momentum going for themselves, get this point. Flip comes out from Frightfully Fresh, will defend it, but Scyther doing so much damage up front. Fudgy and Frightfully having such a hard time staying alive, almost getting the goal, but can't find it. The strike is good. We'll just have to see and wait if that core goes in, and some KOs are going to get found.
Yeah, intense situation here for Lilybun. I mean, with Luna doing what she is doing right now with the core, the ball do be flying at mock speeds, but nice kill confirmed there from Scyther. Is also going to secure an Adrenaline Rush stack there, so they're going to get some speed, get all their cooldowns pretty much back here. Frightfully Fresh going to blast that ball with a Supernova, try to maintain control. We got our third player back here, though. Fudgy Waffle goes in. Lilybun trying to prepare for it, but a kill once again, I think, from... Actually, I'm not even sure who it was from. Either way, gonna try to stall as long as possible. Bunn Bunn Bonanza can't get it through. The log might have been just too early. The log does some strange things sometimes, but either way, the punch is gonna get it on through there. Snake with that primary. And secure a set for Demons RAAAAHHH. Luna could probably be the best person on their team to get that first awakening.
You do have a missile propulsion here, but I wonder if something like a bulk up or a prime time could also just be a solid pickup, because on the side of Bunn Bunn, who's really going to make use of missile prop? You know, I'm just kind of yapping. Of course it's going to be a missile prop on the Luna. The bulk up still finds its way onto down to Scyther, which is a bit scary. It's more damage, a little bit more HP finding its way all around. Lilybun getting more size, which makes the defense a bit easier for Dubu, but also makes you a bigger target. And prime time also being a very valuable pickup for Liari, because that's going to keep up core pressure so much more consistently, because you have so many more bubbles to be working with.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more cooldowns to work with, which is really great for Juno, which naturally has slightly lower cooldowns in general here. Frightfully Fresh loads up that Supernova, going to blast that ball into orbit. Snake really threatening standing in one place situation is going to cause the Fortress to come out there, though. Frightfully Fresh going to Thunder Strike that one, jump on over, get a strike on in there. They're not going to do much more for that pressure there. Scyther gets it in there with the rush. That was a surprising amount of core speed there, possibly from that bulk up. Do end up getting that barrier here. Snake taking a whole lot of extra damage here, though, spending the log on Frightfully Fresh's cooldown. Not going to have it up for this next dash punch if it comes, although they are definitely keeping Snake out of the play here as much as they can. The Flurry jumps in here, though. Crater Maker, he can't seem to get this barrier, though, until Fudgy Waffles, the barrier destroyer, gets their hands on the ball. This hot shot has done wonders for the side of Demons RAAAAHH here, though. But they do have a little bit of the 2v2 situation here, though. Has the cooldowns to get it through, and that's kind of right there is a really good example of the caveat of just having Luna on the team, right? She's so good when she spends those cooldowns, but they're a little long, right? And you just don't have them for defensive situations. And Luna's not even the goalie here. She just could not hold against Slice and Dice.
Most definitely. But the saving grace for Demons RAAAAHH right now is that they have two flips to be working with. One comes out right there from Fudgy, Frightfully still holding his own, as the abilities do come out, and again, damage just gets dumped. Basically, the entirety of Bunn Bunn down to half HP. Scyther 12 also has a flip, so probably going to be a little bit hesitant to use that just to stay alive. Maybe also an avenue to get KOs. Oh my, where did Liari go? I feel like the 7 abilities just hit at once. That HP bar disappeared. Scyther 12 now also just trying to stay alive as Lilybun is holding on to this defense, but the core is not in. No, and the flip is used as well.
I like the idea there for Lilybun to like really move up and just like stand directly onto Snake and just have the bigger strike, but they found a way to Snake found a way to win that strike war situation, which certainly is going to result in that goal. Wow, big entrance there. It's an explosive entrance, you might say, from Fudgy Waffles. It's going to make things a little awkward. Get an evade out of there. Here comes a Thunderstruck. Is going to completely wash Lilybun out away from that barrier. Going to maintain control here, though. Red team playing pretty heavy defense, though. They do actually end up knocking Snake off the board, spending that recovery drone, which is at least a little bit of a saving grace here, though. Lots of damage here from Frightfully Fresh. Scyther gets hit pretty hard. Liari loses about half their health as well, and a kill target has been set. There it goes. Fudgy Waffles finds the kill onto Scyther. One more power play loaded on in here for Demons RAAAAHH. Can they get it in there? Whoa, Snake with a crazy angle, but man, Lilybun on point right now to get that defense. Fudgy Waffles goes crazy behind the back. It's going to take their own barrier, but I understand that sometimes these things are necessary, though. Lilybun once again kind of playing with fire there, doing a big strike war against Snake. And it's going to work out for them, though. Although they have a 2v1 situation, the Oni Blade's going to reduce that to nothing, but wow, an insanely good strike is going to get it on through, right in between, and that is NASL. That was a NASL strike.
Yeah, most definitely. There was a lot of size on Lilybun, but it just wasn't enough because I was so kind of like perfectly positioned to go around her, which is so difficult to be dealing with, as Demons RAAAAHH are not letting up here, just immediately getting an attack going again, gets one barrier, or looking to get the second one as well, as Liari actually answers with a barrier on their own. Scyther 12 has a flip, but does not use it yet, and the HP bar is just going Fudgy, putting out so much damage on this Luna pick right here, so difficult to stay alive, as the barrier gets taken with a black hole as well. Demons RAAAAHH just really wanting to force a set 5 here, and they almost do, but Liari is there.
Nice defense there from Liari. Getting that danger sense going, realize something is not right. I gotta back my ass up here and get my hands on the ball. Flip from Frightfully Fresh, down Fudgy Waffles. He's gonna try to get it past Liari here, though. They do have this flip, but you don't really want to use it defensively. See if they can move up a little bit. Man, they knock Scyther all over the place. Vlog holds the line. Actually does end up holding line with the assistance of that somersault. And now the ball is going to roll on over to the hands of Demons RAAAAHH here, though. Fudgy doesn't really have much left as far as evades to go. The triple goalie situation is going to get the ball right past Scyther. Fudgy Waffles goes in once again with the boost. Kind of whiffs here, though. Snake going for a ridiculous dash punch angle, but it doesn't seem to work out here, though. Lilybun walks a little too far, and it just gets through from the bottom side. Understandably, that Lilybun feels the pressure that they have to walk in front of Snake because they have a lot of size. They can do that, but the ball do be moving fast. We have a lot of course speed on the side of Demons RAAAAHH. Gotta be careful.
Gotta be incredibly careful, and especially now you gotta be a bit more careful around edges, because the 1-2 punch is gonna give Snake even more KO pressure, and not even through HP bars just getting low, but just by Julie being Julie. So that's something else you gotta be watching out for, as movement speed's gonna help Lily as well quite a bit. You've seen her walk up a lot and create pressure with these Tofu Fortresses. Getting that glass cannon is gonna enable that even more, because you're just gonna get there faster. But across the board, again, just a lot of damage pickup, explosive entrance, specialized training, twin drive, all insane awakenings for just doing more damage and having more upkeep as well. So I don't think a lot is going to be changing in the way of the people just disappearing at a moment's notice. As you can see, Liari almost taken out already, and she's dead.
Okay, Liari kind of got hit with knockback like 4 times there in a second. Gonna find themselves completely in the grave for a little bit here. 13 seconds. Let's see if we can get this barrier here. Demons RAAAAHH in this power play. Still a whole lot of pressure. Yeah, it does go right past Lilybun and Liari, unfortunately. Now let's see if they can mount some pressure. The ball is kind of clear, although Snake has not given up here, though. Frightfully Fresh gonna get a back pass on over to Fudgy Waffles here. Situation for Liari and Frightfully Fresh. It goes behind the back. Oh man, the Sad Boys angles are just so tough to deal with sometimes, as we're gonna try to fight it way out from the top once again. Snake just needs to get their hand on that ball. They do have a flip loaded up, but they can't seem to maintain the pressure. I think Bunn Bunn Bonanza is doing well to keep Snake out of the play until somebody just steals the point here. Fudgy Waffles hot shot once again is just causing, even with the Deadeye too, lots of knockback, man.
Yeah, just no way to react to that on the defensive end there, and now Demons are going to go into this point with a flip on Frightfully as well. And I do want to say that twin drive, it does quite a bit of work for the side of Demons as well, because that's enabling Frightfully Fresh to be so much more active up front as well, which creates even more pressure, and it's just going to make it more difficult to deal with as a Black Hole finds a KO. That's one of the funnier ones, but hey, it is a KO nevertheless, and it's a power play nevertheless, as the side of Bunn Bunn want to get this barrier, but they're actually dropping their own 3v1 situation. They are still alive as it stands. But that's not the power play you were looking for if you are Bunn Bunn.
Yeah, rough situation here, though. Snake purposely looks like they went to go pop that black hole there, though. Fudgy Waffles against Lilybun is going to certainly be a loss there with the giant Dubu, but Scyther gets it on through. Power play once again, knocks off the drone to flip. Plus the slice and dice almost gets it through. They have a fortress to hold this bottom line, making a little bit of a side lane there. Ball goes on over to Snake. The Oni Blade almost gets it through, but we have many strikes. Frightfully Fresh making an appearance here. Gets it on through, and now we somehow find ourselves with Demons RAAAAHHH looking at match point here, though. I say Bunn Bunn Bonanza was looking great at the beginning, but one too many barriers just fall for seemingly, I say no reason, but I mean the hotshot just has their own reason.
Just a lot of pressure, a lot of damage, and Demons are looking to reverse it. This game they get the KO on Lilybun there. That means power play in favor of them now. Snake has a flip, will take the barrier. Fudgy's gonna have a flip soon. Frightfully Fresh is gonna have one soon. So surely you can find the goal here as damage finds its way into Scyther and Liari again. They can barely stay on the map, but the goal is not found yet. Liari gets the attack going onto the barrier, but they can't find it. Liari still getting low. Centaur ultimate needs to be used as well to even stay alive, and gets the evade just in time. Bunn Bunn Bonanza still looking to fight here, but it's very much a difficult setup.
Yeah, I think Lilybun actually died solo to the black hole due to the size and range that they popped it, and their own size. That might have been kind of insane, but correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Trying to get this final barrier, Bunn Bunn Bonanza, they do end up getting it here with the determination from Scyther. Has the passive loaded up there, but doesn't seem to maintain that pressure just yet. Hotshot goes in once again. The boost almost grabs it. Snake knocking Liari down to nothing. The whammy doesn't seem to get it. Nice jumping out of the way. Actually, Fighter Flight refreshing your secondary when you are staggered, or staggering the opponent here. Scyther flipping kind of far from the goal. You can see Demons RAAAAHH maintaining a double goalie situation against that flip here, though. Snake trying to get their hands on it, though. The Only Blade kind of whiffs. Once again, the whammy onto Liari. They're losing health here, though, but Snake is completely staggered. Once again, goes for a ridiculous dash punch angle with a ton of mix-ups on it. Liari has the... Oh, gosh. Okay, that 2v1 scared the crap out of me, man.
I've seen several situations where I thought, okay, that's it, that's a KO, but no, both teams playing so well to handle such difficult situations here, and in the end, Scyther 12 does find the goal, and that's so important, because, I mean, you can't fail at this point, right? One more goal for the side of Demons RAAAAHH, and they're just going to take game one, and Bunn Bunn has something to say about it. They're going to keep up the pressure, keep up the threat, as they don't find the barrier yet, though. The attack's still mounting, and one going, the second one being in danger, but not out. The flip comes out double. No, just one. No, double barrier coming out for Demons RAAAAHH. But Bunn Bunn answers immediately. The point's still alive. Cypher 12 still alive as well. Can Liari make some magic work here? And she can.
Okay, honestly, 3 Demons RAAAAHH members versus 5 Slimes, you actually can't win. So, you know what? Liari basically had the checkmate there with the Make It Rain, summoning more Junos just to hit the strike. It just makes sense. The math literally adds up. We're going to move on now to true match point of this game, 2-2. Going in here, though. Oni Blade smashes the ball into their own barrier here, though. Fortunately, yeah, Fudgy Waffles 1 strike away from getting this flip. A flip from Frightfully Fresh to clear the ball completely. Lilybun's going to fight it from the top side. The Crater Maker's going to go in. They're going to use that speed. Doesn't seem to get as far as they wanted to, though. The Black Hole is also going to redirect that one. Make things kind of weird. Fudgy Waffles flips defensively to help Frightfully Fresh keep this final barrier as long as they can. But wow, Scyther goes in with just about everything and doesn't seem to get it. Lilybun, a little bit too close to the edge. It's kind of scaring me here, though, against this Juliet. A flip from Liari is going to use that strike advantage from the secondary, and they do end up getting the barrier here. Final point, Scyther's going to move up with Liari with that flip. They spend it kind of in the corner. Fudgy Waffles can't get it. Frightfully Fresh Bunn Bunn Bonanza actually clutches the box on that one. First game to Bunn Bunn. Wow.
Yeah, what a showing from both teams here, but in the end, Bunn Bunn were the ones that pulled through. They took the risks as well in the end. When you mentioned Lilybun being so close to the edge, I was worried. Like, it's very possible that he just dies at that point in time, but that's the kind of risk you need to take if you're in a point like set 5.5, if you want to stay alive, and especially in how competitive the season has been. So risks like this need to be taken to even just keep in contention for the whole thing as well. And but I didn't even look. 70k damage on Scyther.
Oh.
Well then.
70k. damage is a lot. I mean, you saw them multiple times jump in Oni Blade, strike all 3 players, and before anyone's even staggered, I saw them flip, I think, at least twice just to hit 3 people. I mean, that's a lot. It's like 1,000 damage flip if you hit like 3 people with it. So Scyther doing as much as they can to get that damage in there. Like I mentioned earlier, like I mentioned all the time, right? Just staggering somebody sometimes is enough to just get them out of the play, make a pseudo power play, and put enough pressure on the goalie to get that barrier. And that is what 70,000 damage kind of embodies and represents what you want to be doing here with that team, especially with the wand. And honestly, the team that I thought probably had more damage did not end up clearing any of those numbers. I mean, overall, Scyther kind of did clear with that damage, but really close game. You know, I feel like Bunn Bunn Bonanza did pick, you know, they double stacks on stacks. They were going for more core control, and Scyther said, that's just not me. That's just, that ain't me. Watch this. Takes that one, first point over to Bunn Bunn, and that was, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens next here. We got two in a set. 2 games.
Yeah, we very much do. It's not just over yet, right? And we'll see if there's going to be a differing, well, I want to say if it's going to be a different approach to draft, but I feel like with a heavy impact start, it's just so polarizing. I feel like you're kind of forced into stuff like Centaurus, stuff like Vice. It's not really anything you can be avoiding at that point. So it's going to be curious to see what they're going to go play for in the next map and the next Awakenings as well, as we're seeing it. But for Bunn Bunn, big win, because that means you're now a step closer to confirming yourself an upper bracket start in playoffs, which I do believe they get if they win the series.
Yeah. Bunn Bunn Bonanza, if they win, they are just about secure there, like you're saying. And for Demons RAAAAHH, I mean, they have to win to have like the razor's edge of niche situations, niche tiebreakers to really find themselves in this playoffs. But you know, they're playing their heart out either way. Do have Frightfully Fresh here jumping in once again over Gumi, but still great players nonetheless. I mean, this is a NASL team, guys. This is truly the best of the best, and we're gonna move on to the Knighting market here. We got Timeless Creator and Glass Cannon. Timeless is interesting because it's like, what does it even do? What is Timeless doing for me? Is Timeless killing my opponent? I don't know. Is it really killing my opponent? Do I care about it? Maybe not. Is Glass killing my opponent? Glass could kill my opponent. You know, it's like the Drake meme, right? It's like Timeless, dude, and it's Drake. You know, yeah, heck yeah, dude, with the glass cannon or whatever. Yeah, I don't remember what it looks like, but you know, I think we're gonna see a couple more glass cannons unless Amy makes an appearance here.
Yeah, most definitely. Timeless is like in a weird spot, I feel like, Awakening-wise, because the characters that usually enjoy themselves picking up Timeless, they're just not necessarily in a great spot, I'd say. You have Amy, who's probably the best off overall. Then you have like an Owl that can do fine with it. You have Atlas that does very good with it. You have Rune that can do a lot of damage with it as well, or a lot of, I guess not damage, but core control with it. So I do feel like it's a bit weird to try to go for Timeless as of right now. So I'm expecting close to 6 glass cannons because, I mean, if you don't have enough creation, then what's the point of Timeless? So with glass cannon, you have more damage, you have more speed as well, but it's conditional speed. With glass cannon, something like a Vice actually has a quite strong priority in my eyes, because not only is she a great glass cannon user on her own, right? More damage is great, more movement speed is great for her, but her primary just disables glass cannon for everyone that you hit with it. That chain lightning will just essentially, if you're in the right position, just reset that speed boost for the entire enemy team. So I'm expecting some kind of priority around the Vice pick here in this draft, even though it is, well, I don't want to say even though it is night market, it's very possible to play a night market. So we'll see where the priorities are going to be for both of the teams here as well, but I'm expecting some kind of Vice prio.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Vice just being pretty good right now, siphoning one, helping out Vice just start smashing. I mean, yeah, striking. I mean, you could hit the ball with the primary and it would just chain 3 people and you'd be like, oh, that's insane. Disable their awakenings for like 5 seconds just for basically doing nothing. So yeah, the chain lightning is going to be quite good. A lot of, I'd call it raid-wide damage or big LAOEs, and I'll use some more Warcraft terms at some point. But yeah, it's just like Juno dropping like a big ol' make it rain. Everyone's just stepping on blobs. I mean, their stuff's just getting turned off. I mean, things get kind of awkward in that situation. So I think about that a lot, even when it comes to like momentum boots too. Depending on like who you're playing against, if like you just get clipped by like random stuff, like Kazan is like not really good at like hitting everyone, but like like if he feels like just tapping somebody, like he just has any cooldown he wants to just be like, oh okay, I'll hook this guy real quick, or I'll just do a little pop up and I'll just turn his glass cannon off, and it barely was a cooldown for me. And I think Kazan is also pretty solid right now. You mentioned Rune. I'm a Rune enjoyer. You might not know this about me, but I am a Rune enjoyer. But I do not think we will be seeing Rune. I can't particularly say he's super good on Night Market in general, though. We have not had any picks just yet, but characters that are good on Glass Cannon, I mean, I think characters that just have like a lot of extra like evades, right? Like even Kazan with Glass Cannon, he has the flying away, gets an extra evade. The Oni's blade can dodge some moves as well, and it's a kind of a cool like balancing act where you want to like maybe spend an evade to dodge something to keep that glass cannon going. I mean, it does like 14% speed at max stack. It's quite good.
Yeah, most definitely anything with an evade. I feel like also Juno, very underrated if it comes down to glass cannon, because again, you have an evade in your kit, you have ways to get around being hit, and you also, again, we talked about it last game as well, you have all those blobbos, and every time an enemy has to step on a blobbo, they are going to lose their movement speed as well. So I feel like there are a lot of like priorities being tossed back and forth here, and I'm curious to see who's going to get the better of them, or if we're just going to say we're just going to take a solid like team comp regardless of the glass cannon, because ultimately glass cannon is great if you can get it to work, but you're not relying on it, right? It's not going to be your win con, or not even close to being your win con. It's just going to be a solid pickup. If you just get a really strong like early game team as well, you can be playing towards that first set win and start to snowball off of that awakening draft, which is also a very valid choice to be going for. And even if you don't get it, again, glass cannon, it's movement speed, which is great as a baseline, but I don't think you're required to be running with it.
Yeah, and another stat for Juno, Blobbo speed. A glass cannon certainly affects Blobbo speed, right? And sometimes if you place a Blobbo in like kind of a corner and you don't have enough speed, it won't cover. But if you do have enough speed, that's kind of why Mom Boots Juno goalie is like, oh, interesting. This one Blobbo can hold this sideline by itself. Like, bro, if you have enough speed on Taiko Temple, a blob can hold the side between the drums. And that is kind of crazy. But now we got some picks coming on here, though. As you mentioned, hey, Juno might be good here, though. They're going to ban that one right on out here. Finny Damage Master, maybe not too bad with Timeless. You get the big finish on the barrier. Timeless is quite good with it. You're going to ban that one out here, though. But Luna, this patch, I am a Luna believer for sure, and it is going to be the first pick for Demons RAAAAHH. They want Fudgy Waffles blasting that ball once again. They liked what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, why change a formula that's working for you, right? They had a really good showing with the Luna in the first game. Sadly, didn't get the game with it, but they were inches away from it, right? And you can just lock it in again because it does have that potential. Again, enjoys that extra movement speed, because what's Luna's movement? It's like a big dash across the entirety of the map. Or nothing. So any kind of like base movement speed improvement is going to be great for you already. On the other side, Estelle and Drakkar, both very strong in the terms of like just controlling the core, and also very great at disabling glass cannon, right? You have a shotgun, you have the piercing shot, and a lot of range to just take away that speed from the enemy side, as we're seeing as Zentaro and ASHER look for Demons RAAAAHH here, actually.
Wow.
Is it ASHER net?
I have not seen ASHER in a really long time. Guys, ASHER is in Strikers. I almost forgot. That is kind of... Wow, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say probably looking at probably ASHER in the net, right? Like, we got Zentaro on board, so would make sense to me. Bunn Bunn, going to go grab that Dubu once again. Lily Bunn, really do loving that Dubu. Scyther, we've seen on Drakkar more than once, that's for sure. And Liari definitely is an Estelle enjoyer too. So I would say Bunn Bunn's got some nice comfort picks here, though. I mean, we do have Demons RAAAAHH getting Fresh. Man, Fresh... Okay, so I have seen Fresh play ASHER, that's for sure. So Fudgy on the Luna once again. Kind of interesting here, though. Snake going to be grabbing the Zentaro. Not an overwhelming amount of damage, but I guess you could say that Luna and Zentaro are going to be fine when it comes to dealing damage. Once again, I feel like Demons RAAAAHH is just going to be the aggressor here, though, and Bunn Bunn is going to do their best to sneak that ball on in there, snag some of these barriers. But, as you know, last game, it was really Fudgy who was stealing every barrier known to man, so maybe it'll be a little bit different on Night Market.
Yeah, what I'm curious to see is the ASHER pick. If it's likely going to go in net, right? I don't think that's really anything crazy to be thinking about. And I'm curious to see where the priorities are going to be with the Awakenings, because the thing is, there's like one side of it where Timeless is gonna extend that small creation you have that you cannot be pushing through, right? That's why Timeless Asher is actually kind of good. Not only is it a buff on your ultimate, but when Asher uses, I believe, a primary or secondary, she has like that wall that he can't go through, and Timeless does affect that. That does make it stay there for longer, which makes it stronger on the defensive end. But on the other hand, you have Glass Cannon. It's still a really solid pickup for Asher. You love yourself some movement speed. With more movement speed, you can move up all the way to the midfield line and play aggressive there. So I'm curious to see where the priority pick is going to be there for the side of Frightfully Fresh here on that Asher goalie pick. Because if it's Timeless, I can see it. And yes, it is Timeless. It's Timeless Asher with Strike Shot in net. So just defensive masterclass, essentially, is what the game plan is for Frightfully Fresh here. Being that wall that he can't be pushing through as everyone else on Glass Cannon. No shock there.
Ooh, but a minor shock possibly to Bunn Bunn, or maybe not. Double Wand showing up for Demons RAAAAHHH. They are done messing around here, though. We do have Scyther, has Pummelers that could result in kills by itself. You don't have to deal a damage over time to do Pummeler kills. Get a lot of speed, too, as well. Gets those two barriers here. Scyther just positioned perfectly right on the front side. Lilybun going in for as much pressure as possible to get that reinforcement from the Tofu Fortress here. Liari has the ball. Nice pass up to Lilybun. Going to completely clear it on through. Fudgy Waffles can't find the way to get it, but Scyther, I think, grabs that kill with this. Pummeler is going to activate that one, reset any of that energy they had there, though. First point to Bunn Bunn Bonanza, and wow, yeah, it's so interesting, right? Asher in general, and then we got the Timeless instead of the Glass Cannon. I would have imagined, certainly, still Glass Cannon either way.
The thing is, Timeless, it's really not a bad awakening on Asher if you're playing her in nets. It makes you like a complete solid wall defensively that you'd have a hard time getting through just because that extra like hitbox of stopping core on your primary. It's gonna be there for so much longer. The problem for the side of Demons RAAAAHH right now is actually the fact that they're just gonna get out core controlled as is, right? Because before you had Luna Weiss, both of them have range, both of them have a lot of midfield presence if they play their cards right, and if one of them doesn't have abilities or can't be doing a lot of like core control, then the other one likely can from a distance. Now you have Luna Asher, so Asher's likely just gonna stay in the back quite a bit, and Fudgy has to take care of basically all the midfield control, and if that in and of itself wasn't difficult enough, you're doing it against Estelle Dracar, who can contest the core from basically the entire map. Not to mention Lilybun also just walks up like that, which doesn't make it a lot easier.
Yeah, Lilybun very confident in the team to be able to move up that far. And they had some really good positioning there, though. Gonna whiff that strike, gonna drop that barrier there, no problem. Getting the ball on through, down to Liari. Fudgy Waffles is going to help Frightfully Fresh get it through as well. Snake finally gets their hands on the ball. Gonna spend the rush, gets the barrier by themselves in a nice 2v1, but Scyther, all the control here, though, with this flip. Maybe they spend it. They're gonna hold the flip. They might use it defensively, though, to get the heck out of dodge. They don't spend it there either. That's crazy. They do get the barrier, though. I feel like that's insane behavior to not flip there, though, but maybe I don't know anything about anything. They hold that flip there. They get the barrier, and it results in just the whole set. So, I mean, you guys are the champions. I'm going to sit over here, and I'm just talking about dumb shit.
Yeah, the difficulty as well for Demons RAAAAHH, they went double siphoning, like you mentioned. That means your game plan is, well, it's murder, right? It's take out the enemy and play off of that. And if you don't get that snowball, you are going to be having a terrible, terrible time. And looking at the awakenings that you do have here, you do get an explosive entrance and 1-2 punch finding its way onto Fudgy and Snake, which do help quite a bit, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, especially because the side of Bunn Bunn picked up a bulk up for Lilybun. That's going to be a bit more HP. You have the Adrenaline Rush denied, but it's not only a deny as well, right? You mentioned it yourself before. Scyther does have the Pummelers on Dracar. He can just find KOs on his own. So if there is a KO found now for the side of Bunn Bunn, that's going to make it even more difficult to be dealing with. As a great rotation here comes out from Bunn Bunn, actually, to keep Liari alive. And they rotate again. Scyther goes into net now because he's a bit low. Yeah,
going on over to the goalie side, being annihilated here from Snake's rush. Gonna certainly knock that one out of here, though. Fudgy Waffles gonna cover that entire top side by themselves with that boost. Lilybun gonna try to stall as long as we possibly can. Rightfully Fresh ends up whiffing that strike shot, but wow, giant somersault, possibly assisted by the damage of Glass Cannon Pauldrons and Bulk Up. Actually looking at 170 power right here. Blasts on off of the map here, though. Snake waiting a little bit to come back here, though. Sends out the rush once again. Flips in the Oni blade. That was kind of interesting, though. Maybe a mix-up or two. They're going to try to get this one out here, though, on the bottom side here. Scyther might be sniffing out a kill onto Fudgy Waffles as well, maybe, with that. Whoa, that was such a good strike, dude. It did not hit that little bit of that wall right in the middle, and it just went right on through. I mean, W strike. How do they say it today? W strike from Scyther.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of went through the wall almost. That was so close.
Yeah, that was
even
bullshit,
like
actually.
Even a pixel off, I feel like that would just bounce. But hey, if you find the goal, that's fine, right? You're not going to complain about it. And you get a one barrier. Do you get a second one? No, flip comes out from Frightfully Fresh here. As the attack from Demons RAAAAHHH is staying alive. Snake does get a second barrier here as well, and is going to try to get the goal, but no, the attack is going to be started up again for the side of Bunn Bunn. Liari put down the stagger, does have an evade to be working with, but doesn't necessarily have a lot of pressure on herself right now. Flip comes out, the KO not found. The barrier is still not found either, though, and again, Lilybun walking up. That Dubu's so strong on the night market here with that Tofu Fortress. That's 1 KO, 2 KO,
God.
come on, Scyther, and he puts it in.
Okay, I mean, true. You get to just kill somebody, and then Adrenaline Rush lets you just kill somebody, and then 2 people are dead, and that's pretty good. Bunn Bunn Bonanza, wow, profiting heavy off Scyther playing this Drakkar right on the front lines here, though, doing so well. Nice strike there from Snake to get it right on through Lilybun, maybe getting a little too overconfident on these move-ups, on this positioning that they're taking here. They are kind of big here with this Pauldrons. They get to cover a little bit more space than it seems like. They're looking for a kill onto Fudgy Waffles. They actually end up failing on the first kill, but that did not trigger any danger sense into Fudgy Waffles, as Scyther says, bro, I am loaded, I am stacked, I am strapped, bro. I'm coming in hot, and it's over for you. Log comes out, not whiffs, but kind of stuffs that flip completely here from Snake. Scyther still keeping a lot of ball control here. Now they have their chance to get Scyther out of here. They do spend a lot of cooldowns. That evade gets crazy value. There's just nothing more than the word value right now. Scyther is getting all of it. Another kill from Liari. Jesus Cristo. I mean, good job. Bunn Bunn Bonanza is going crazy.
Yeah, that was an excellent play. Scyther's evade that puts Frightfully Fresh into such an awkward position, takes him out right after, and you're rewarded with not only a second set win, you're not only 1 set away from locking yourselves in playoffs upper bracket, you're also rewarded with Missile Prop Drakkar. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit difficult to deal with, because there's more control now, there's more damage on the shotguns now, and if that in and of itself wasn't enough, you get more size on Lilybun, you get more cooldowns on Liari here. I really want to believe in winning chances for everyone, but it's getting a bit difficult to see it for Demons RAAAAHH right now.
Yeah, the missile prop is really good here for Scyther. So much extra knockback, more damage, and it's actually just good for core control now. Huge range on the shotgun blast. The lock and load is certainly going to be locked and loaded. Lilybun moving up once again here with that Fortress. Scyther is going to take that ball, but end up losing the situation here in the 2v1 situation. They have a chance to get this barrier on the bottom side, but it seems that Bunn Bunn Bonanza gets there in time. Snake now going to bring the ball into Narnia, try to hold it by themselves here. Frightfully Fresh gets the barrier beam to push it on through. Not going to lose that one to Scyther. Lilybun once again moving up very far, always hanging out in the midfield with that size, with that confidence. Scyther does end up clearing the ball and grabbing the speed boost. This could result in a barrier here, though. They have the flip to keep themselves alive and hold the ball. Nice play from Snake, but they do not end up getting that barrier. Fudgy Waffles cheating once again with that boost. Goes for a nutty Nuttown angle, actually. Almost works out perfectly. Fudgy maybe feeling themselves right now. Gets a nice strike past Liari into the hands of Snake, who's going to do a little bit of a dribble here. See if they can get it through into overtime. Smashes the ball once again. Fortress is up, and now we have a defense situation here for Lilybun.
We are in overtime, which I feel like is going to favor the side of Bunn Bunn here, because they can just they deal better with a lot of core speed, right? They also deal better with KOs. Lilybun, another KO off that roll there, and a beautiful strike from Scyther will get it past Frightfully Fresh there. Didn't even have to use the flip for it. They're going to have that ready for this point as well. So, Demons RAAAAHH, something's got to change because you're on a timer here.
Yeah, all the thing is something. It's not that I always forget, but like a nice reminder every now and again that all of these players are so good. They all know what they're doing at all times, right? Like even if Bunn Bunn Bonanza hasn't just like won every NASL season or whatever like that, like this team is so good. I mean, Lilybun waiting there perfectly for the rush, getting the somersault nicely. Okay, Fudgy Waffles, though, as I'm yapping away, has a nice situation to get that double barrier in the third objective, which is the point. Fudgy Waffles is in position. That was clutch. That was like a moment's notice Fudgy was there, so good recognition on them. Demons RAAAAHH. Okay, we're not out of it here, though. No glazing just yet, but we're in it.
Yeah, most definitely. Important, very important point, and even more important kill now to be found for Frightfully Fresh here, as they're wanting to be now getting this power play and getting this point. One berry gets down, the second one is down. They're still very much alive and fighting here, but it's an open net now on the side of Lilybun. Fudgy does have a flip to be working with if he doesn't want to use it, but right now they need to get the core out of their own half. They need to make sure they're not getting taken out, because Scyther is doing a lot of damage to Snake right now. Flip does come out, and Scyther, with a nice play, almost gets some threat onto the barrier there, but doesn't find it, and the brawlers are just kind of brawling right now. HP bars are getting low.
Yeah, I think I've picked up on a situation here that Demons RAAAAHH is going for. Fudgy Waffles, you know, getting flip, and then Snake throwing the ball into nowhere. Like they just want to get the ball into nowhere, so Fudgy can boost on over and get that flip for like a really advantageous situation. And I think that is actually just a good idea. Frightfully Fresh whiffing just for a moment here is going to stall Bunn Bunn Bonanza for just a moment. Snake gonna try to regenerate, but Liari says, nah, dude, we're just gonna get you staggered. The flip comes out. Too many obstacles in the way. Snake forgoes that situation. Oni Blades to safety. Actually also dealing a lot of damage to Scyther, who might be at risk here, though. Great strike. Almost gives Liari the perfect hit. Fortress comes out once again to block the top side. Scyther and Liari battling on the front side. Liari gets the Rose Warp on to Fudgy Waffles for a crazy kill. And now the power play commences on Bunn Bunn Bonanza. Can they get this final objective? The flip, the somersault's going to hold that one down. Liari can't get the stun combo, and Fudgy's back.
Fudgy is back, and Scyther is low. You do have the benefit of that defensive fortress of Frightfully Fresh, but I did just jinx it, so my bad. But open goal on both sides now. Snake does have a flip. The Luna ultimate coming out as well. Flip not used yet. Lilybun has one defensively as well. We'll use it here to actually stay alive as the attack is going towards the defense on Demons RAAAAHH, and Liari getting a bit low. Fudgy needs to be careful around the edges here, otherwise Drakkar is going to get at this adrenaline rush. And I feel like if we do get an adrenaline rush proc on the Drakkar, it's going to be very dangerous. Another KO. This is like the third KO for Demons RAAAAHH this point alone, and they just can't really translate it into a goal. Just such a strong defense from the side of Bunn Bunn here to still stay alive, and Liari back on the field now, and we're doing the whole thing again.
Yeah, lots of damage. You can see Lilybun is actually just red coring that every strike. Nice one getting it in there, though. Man, the Scyther, great angle to ride that bottom wall. But yeah, Lilybun red balling the core, making him so fast. But Fudgy Waffles also has 1-2 punch in overtime, too. So there's a lot of core speed coming out here. Lilybun's going to have a lot to do when it comes to Fudgy Waffles hitting that ball. But moving on to this next point here, though, Bunn Bunn Bonanza once again is looking at match point, series point. They get double barrier down. Snake flips, gets whiffed once, or stuffed, not whiffed, once again. I mean, they haven't had any flips. Okay, I think Fudgy like boosted, hit a guy, didn't strike, I think. Congratulations to Bunn Bunn Bonanza for winning that series over Demons RAAAAHH in a 2-0 fashion. Woohoo!
Oh, you hate to see it go that way. Yeah, the dash, unfortunate there. Wasn't anticipating Scyther to just not interact with the core. Didn't get the strikeout. And hey, it works. Bunn Bunn got the win, and I feel like they just had such a convincing style of play this game. I feel like this was like completely different to what we had before. They just were in control almost all the time. They had a lot of KO pressure. They had a lot of just base core control, and they didn't really make many mistakes, if any. It got a little bit more close towards the end when Demons RAAAAHH found avenues to get KOs, to get power plays for them. But even if when they were in a power play, they couldn't actually turn it into a goal. The defense was still too strong. So yeah, I think Bunn Bunn just had an excellent showing now, especially in the second game here.
Yeah, I would definitely say that the comp here on for Bunn Bunn Bonanza was not deal damage comp, but Scyther found a way to just say, no, we're going to have that uptime of these power plays a lot. Getting those pummeler kills with the lock and load, with that multi-bolt, maybe with the assistance of a little bit of flip here, though. Scyther basically turned this great core-controlled team into a deadly force to be reckoned with, and Liari helping out with a lot of damage as well, and Lilybun even getting 2 kills by themselves, getting so much power, smashing with that somersault. You can see that Snake, certainly the target a few times there of Lilybun's destruction, and man, that was kind of an impressive game, right? Once again, we saw Demons RAAAAHHH, mega aggressor, you know, taking double wand, things where it was no joke anymore. We were going for damage, and Scyther was like, but if I just kill the guy trying to deal damage, my team is looking good. And I mean, only got 6 KOs. It felt like he had more, but like that was like the first 5 minutes of the game. It was like 6 kills, boom, Bunn Bunn Bonanza. First 2 sets, like instantly from those kills. And you only see 13-minute game. It really wasn't that long. So Scyther just made it happen just too fast. It was too shocking for the opponents to deal with. Sometimes Jakarta's really be doing that knockback. So well played from Bunn Bunn Bonanza. Really good work. But we are not even close to done yet, everybody. We got another great match coming up here, though. When we return, it's going to be showtime against Bozo Bunch. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes.